Hello guys and welcome here to the 7-Eleven IndyCar Series. This is race number 11 here today from the Iowa Speedway. Today we present to you the Iowa Corn Indy 300. I'm Brian James here in the booth with you today. And starting on the pole will be Austin Shaw in the number 48. 2 is outside will be the number 7 of Daniel Gittero, who of course only runs the ovals. But good start for that team as they will look to hopefully capitalize today on a good starting position. Of course, this is the second of 3 straight ovals to wrap up the week before we head to our next road course race at Road America to kick off next week. Of course, we're kind of in a hurry now because today's Thursday. Of course, we're trying to wrap up the season very quickly here, but the championship battle is winding down. Let's take a look at your oval standings while we see it. Again, not many ovals have been run yet this year. We still have a lot more to go. Of course, the next oval at Richmond, and then of course we got Milwaukee and Michigan and Gateway still to come. So we've still got a handful left to go after today. But still a lot to decide as we get ready to get going here under the lights at Iowa, our first race in the dark. Let's take a quick break and show you your starting lineup, and then we'll be back with the green flag here at Iowa in just a moment. Here we go. They're about to take the green flag here from Iowa in just a moment. Of course, you notice the different spoilers, the different fenders. Of course, we are running what would usually be the road course package, but it is also a short oval package as we are getting ready to take on the Iowa Speedway, a similar track to the next one we go to at Richmond. But here we go. The pace car is off. Austin Shaw, Daniel Gittero lead us to the green. We're underway at Iowa. And I wonder if we'll see the similar racing that we saw at Homestead yesterday. But Austin Shaw will lead the opening lap. Now you see Mike Austin trying to close. Keep in mind he won on the last short oval, which I believe was at Walt Disney World. So he's no stranger to winning on these short ovals. Of course, it's kind of a long race. You got 45 laps here today at Iowa before we go to Richmond for our next race. And look at the speeds these guys are reaching. 161 mile an hour laps. Very fast short oval. You see for now the top 4 are basically broken away. Austin Shaw leading this pack over his teammate Mike Austin, another Honda in Steve Morgan, and yet another Honda in Scott Upton, who is also the Cup champion. Of course, a reminder, the Jello Cup Series season will kick off very shortly here on GCN. Of course, we'll have signups in just a few weeks here. And of course, it'll be the same day as the Lift National and the Hitachi Truck signups. So you won't want to miss it. We're getting going relatively quick here. Excuse me. But anyway, so you won't want to miss that. Be sure to tune in to GCN on April 16th, I believe it is. And it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern for the trucks, 7:15 p.m. Eastern for the Lift National, and 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the Jello Cup Series. Those signups That's exactly when those signups will be up. And of course, tune in for Pierce ARCA signups the night before. You won't want to miss those. But here we go. Mike Austin has closed the gap. Can he make a pass happen? He's looking low. He's got to make his presence known sooner or later. Austin Shaw is just going to keep leading this race. And look at the lap fall off. You can see they're down to 156 now. 11 laps into the race, which means we should expect, I believe, pit stops very soon. 154 that time. You can tell Austin Shaw not liking the long run handling, as there are the pit stops we were thinking were going to come here, as Mike Austin, Steve Morgan, Scott Upton, Daniel Bouchard, and others coming in. And now this time you can see the two Arrow McLaren cars come in with Austin Shaw. You got Parker Smith coming in, as well as Dylan Young, Nikolai Sykes, his teammate. And then you got Ben Crouch, Richie Hiroshi, Alexander Rowe, Tyler Faden, Max Anderson, James Qualls, Casey Horton, and just a look on down the list. Will pitting a lap sooner benefit these guys? That's the real question. See, the 9 is out and away. Look at all those guys out and away right here. And boy, will the 48 beat his teammate. There's his teammate. There's the 48. He's going to lose a spot, and maybe 2, and in fact it will be 2 spots. Mike Austin is now the new race leader. And this Ganassi group is just really strong right now. Of course, Alexander Rowe won the Indy 500 and the Toronto race. You got Mike Austin, who won at Disney World. You know, Ben Crouch came close to victory at the Indianapolis Grand Prix. And of course, Austin Shaw has been running up front all year, so Ganassi really clicking on all cylinders right about now. We're about a third of the way through the race. And just look at the gap that Mike Austin has on second place. Just remarkable. And it's growing ever so slightly. And you see Austin Shaw trying to close on that 98 of Steve Morgan. He just can't get there yet. And definitely, you know, most of the passing you may see might just come on the pit lane. There's Daniel Bouchard. How about Zach Fitzwater running up front? Of course, he experienced heartbreak on Sunday in the Jello Cup Series season finale. He had 6 wins over there and just couldn't finish it off with the championship. He'll look to get his vengeance next season in a way. But of course, he's going to have some work here to do in the IndyCar Series. He's had kind of a rough go to start the season. Oh, we got a battle for second. Steve Morgan, Austin Shaw, and this is exactly what that 9 wants to see. And Austin Shaw will get second. Keep in mind, he's got a lap fresher tires than these guys in front of him. Up ahead, you got Skylar Martins. How much is that going to play an impact? Look at this. Austin Shaw having the long run speed right now. He's really closing that gap. It's just at 4/10 right about now. Again, we wrap up the week tomorrow before our little Easter weekend break. That, of course, will wrap up at Richmond tomorrow. And, of course, we'll be off Saturday, Sunday. You see the 9 is pitting. He knows he might not have enough to hold off that 48. So he makes his pit stop right about now. Of course, then after Easter, we go to Road America. Then we go to Milwaukee. So 2 races in Wisconsin to open up next week. Then, of course, we'll go up to New York and Watkins Glen International. Then we'll go to Michigan, our final 2-mile oval next, or of season 1. Then, of course, we'll go to Gateway to wrap up the week. That'll be our final oval. And then, of course, we'll wrap up the season at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. And now the 48 is in, but I think the 21 stayed out. In fact, he did an extra lap. So did the 28 and the 29. There's the 9. See right there, Austin Shaw's going to slot into second, but Daniel Bouchard's got heated up tires right now. You know, the 48's running on cold tires. He's going to have to try to fend off the 81. Man, that 81 is just right there. He's right on the gearbox. The gap is 1.4 right now to Mike Austin, who's starting to love these short ovals, by the way. But we're going to keep an eye on this battle for second right now. Look at this. That 81 is clearly faster. He wants to get around, but the 48's not having it. He's going to do his best to block in these final laps here. Of course, he doesn't want to be too aggressive right now. You won't want to be too aggressive in holding off the 81. Up ahead, though, we're about to have ourselves possibly a lap traffic moment. We'll see. The 9 has closed in on Skylar Martins. How much is this going to impact this battle to the finish? Look at it. You see Mike Austin has to take a different line, try to get some clean air. Gap's at 1.24. And they closed up almost a tenth that lap, or the 48 did. See, he managed to hold off the challenge from Daniel Bouchard. So it's going to be between the two Chip Ganassi drivers, coming to 10 laps of racing to go. But does the 9 have enough fuel? It's going to be the real question. You see the gap's down to 3/4 of a second. And those lap times are slowing down. He may have an issue. 9 to go. He doesn't want to abuse his stuff right about now. Oh, look at the 80 or the 48. He is really trying to get some clean air right about now. At 155 that time, 153 for the 9. He's gonna have to make a decision. And right there you see the decision, and the 48's gonna follow. The 98's gonna stay out an extra lap. And this is a case of the 48 just wants to be right on his gearbox on pit exit. We'll see if he can make that happen. Steve Morgan is now the race leader, though, and he will come to the pit lane. So will the 7. So the 21, Parker Smith, he'll go to the race lead, but I don't anticipate he'll be able to make it to the finish. The question is, did this fall into the hands of the 81 of Daniel Bouchard? We will see. Of course, he pitted the soonest of all the leaders. There's the 48. There's the 9. You see the gap. The 81 has a chance here. 5 laps to go. Parker Smith just crossed the line, but you saw there that it looks like the 9, oh, maybe not. Maybe so. We'll see. 9 just lapped the 18. And look at this, lap traffic right in the way. A lap traffic moment presented by Fitzwater's Angriness. With 4 laps of racing to go. Nick Martins is really holding up that 9. Here comes the 81. He won the last race at Homestead. He might have a chance at 2 in a row. Three to go this time. And keep an eye on this battle, because this lap car could have a lot to say in the finish of this race. We come to 2 laps of racing to go this time. Mike Austin's keeping a consistent lead right about now. It's always a good sign. As we'll race our way this time to the white flag. It'll be 1 lap of racing to go, presented by Mitchell's Memes. Look at that gap grow. Mike Austin. He, of course, was your winner at Walt Disney World, another short oval. His teammates have been just as dominant as him, and now he will get a second win today. Mike Austin wins at Iowa. Congratulations to the 9 team. They get the job done here on the oval at Iowa. And hey, we got one more oval just like this, of course, over at Richmond. We can't wait to bring that to you here on GCN. We want to thank you for watching. We're going to show you results and your standings, and we'll be back tomorrow night under the lights at Richmond. Until then, goodbye, everyone.